My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
War in Iran is showing up at gas stations nationwide.
Oh, the gas prices going up is very frustrating.
Prices have shot up about 50 cents a gallon in just the last week.
A new survey found that about 34 million Americans know someone who died because they couldn't pay for medical treatment. Nearly 23% of people admitted to not being able to afford their prescription medications.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. 250 years ago today, ordinary people created the greatest country this world has ever seen. And those ordinary people are still everywhere today.
Man, Alec, man, I bet y'all tired of hearing Alec talk.
Give me my phone.
How about we hear it for some of these great Americans? All I gotta say is happy 4th of July, and God bless y'all, and God bless America.
Hello, everybody. I'm now sitting down with Pizza Hut RGM, Sherry Capel. She is the RGM of this Pizza Hut here in Clinton. And Sherry, how long have you been working here?
In this store, 8 years, but
8
for
years.
Pizza Hut, 33
30 years. 33, wow. Okay.
33.
And what other counties did you work in?
Yeah, I worked in California,
Okay.
in Oroville, California, ran that store for
Yeah.
like 20 years. And then I worked in Colorado, downtown Denver was my restaurant for another 8 years. And then my husband retired and we moved to Arkansas.
What is a crazy story you have about Pizza Hut? What's something that just comes to mind? I know you've got so many.
There's a million crazy stores, but I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Just crazy customers, crazy customer stories.
Were you in Denver when the Broncos won the Super Bowl?
Yes, I was.
Was that a crazy night at Pizza Hut?
Yes, it was. The biggest sales I've ever done in my life. Scared me, and I never want to go through that again. It was like a blur.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you some questions about America. You know, it's the 250th anniversary. So, what does America mean to you?
America means to me hope for a better future, a better life, because my mother was not born in America. So I am a first generation American.
Wow.
So my mother came from Canada, and she was 11 when my grandmother brought her over here. So my mother never had the right to vote. She never became a citizen, but she lived here all of her life. She passed away here.
Yeah.
So she lived, from 11 till I think she passed away when she was in her 60s. But she never had the right to vote, or neither did my grandmother. So I always made that a mission. Like, I only have one daughter. I have 3 kids, but I made sure, like I tell women, women have suffered so many things for their right to vote.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's not just about voting either. It's about people coming from all walks of life, which they should come over here the correct way.
That's right.
But to have a better life, because America is the greatest country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
There is none better.
Yes, I agree. 1,000%. What worries you most about America right now and what the state that it is in?
This is the worst I've ever seen the country. It's so divided. And this is what is worrying me more, because I can't even see right now us coming together as a country. It is too divided. And, I'm not trying to pit Democrat against Republican, but I can't see these two coming together, and it's just too divided with too many, this moral compass and this moral compass.
I agree. So we've kind of lost that way.
Yes, we have.
And it's the United States.
And everything's becoming acceptable. That is, in some people's heart, is not acceptable.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be pushed down our throat.
Mm-hmm.
And we shouldn't have to tiptoe and eggshell ourselves around
I agree.
things like that.
I agree.
I mean, we can talk and agree, but we shouldn't have to be forced to, say words or
I agree.
pronouns
I
or
agree.
whatever.
Yes. Okay. So you worked here. You've hired a lot of kids, and
Yes.
here recently. So what's wrong with the younger generations when it comes to work ethic?
Well, the younger generation is too much technology.
Mhm.
It's just it's too much and it's overwhelming to them. And parents just even at I'm seeing it now like at babies. Babies are taking their phone from their mama or their daddy, or they're already being given little tablets. So it's like being ingrained as soon as they're able to hold their little head up.
Yeah.
And they're not getting away from technology. They're like this. Even as a restaurant manager, when I even see my customers, whole families are like this at the table. Nobody's communicating.
Mhm.
And so when I'm hiring kids, they have zero communication skills.
Yes.
Zero.
I think those are very, very important. You know,
Yes,
that's
they
something you
are.
have to
They
make
can't even
yourself
look
learn.
each other in the eye. Like they look this way or look down. It's hard to get a interview out of people, you know.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
I agree. So you've lived in big cities, and then you're now here in a small town with about 2,000 people in Clinton. What is one thing those big cities could learn from a small town like Clinton?
The learning the value of community,
Mhm.
I would say, because the big city, they don't care about each other. They're just, nobody knows each other.
I'm sitting down with Pizza Hut manager Erica Hoyle. Erica, say hi to him.
Hello.
I'm going to ask you some questions today. So, first one is, what does America mean to you?
Freedom and guns.
Heck yeah! You know, I think that's what makes us so special. You know, we're free to own guns, and most people aren't. You know, and people try to take them away, and I think once you do that, you lose your freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, how long have you worked here?
9 years.
So, what are some crazy stories? You got one for us today? I mean, I know you've seen
Oh
some.
my goodness. Crazy stories. Oh no.
Go for it.
I can't talk about these for this time.
Yeah. Well, what is something? You know,
Okay.
just
Crazy story. Like big orders and stuff.
anything,
Okay,
anything
yeah.
you want to tell.
Like busting out 100+ pizzas for Shop with a Cop, free giving back to the kids.
Yeah.
And all that. That's crazy. That's a crazy day.
So what does a hard day at work look like for you?
A
Because
hard
I know
day?
you work a lot. So
I do work a lot. A hard day at work is coming in at 7:30 in the morning, making sure everything is ready to go, making sure my employees are ready to go, the restaurant's ready to go, making sure that the product that we serve is top notch, making sure that the food is great for people to return, and then doing it all again the next day.
there you go.
Yep.
You know, you've lived in Clinton for a while.
30 years.
Okay. What has changed over the years?
Oh, it's gotten a lot bigger, a lot more diversity. Real estate market's insane compared to what it was whenever I bought my first house. But yeah, a lot of growth.
You know, what stayed the same? Like a small town feel?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Small town feel.
All right.
We'll go with that.
You know, who's your favorite country singer? You know, that's a big part of America. I think we listen to a lot of country music.
Country singer. Does they have to be alive?
No, they don't have to be
Okay, then
alive.
it's absolutely Keith Whitley.
There we go.
Yes.
Keith Whitley is the best. 1,000%. That's what I would say.
Exactly.
So,
only reason King George is because Keith Whitley passed away.
that's right.
Don't play with me about that.
Who's your favorite president of all time?
Favorite president of all time? Gotta go Trump.
Donald J.
All day, every day. Got to.
All right. You know, this is gonna be the last one, and this one's gonna be kind of tough.
Okay.
So, who do you believe are the real heroes of America?
Real heroes of America is EMT workers, doctors, nurses, firefighters, the people that come to your rescue.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. 1,000%.
Oh, and linemen.
Yeah.
My husband.
Yep.
Keep the power on.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
You're absolutely so welcome.
I'm gonna get a pizza at Pizza Hut.
I'll get it. I'll be here.
I was leaving the Pizza Hut today, and then I ran into Mr. West down here. So, Wes, what do you do for work?
I'm in insurance sales, commercial insurance.
Okay. And what does that look like? What does a day look like?
A lot of phone calls, a lot of emails.
Yeah.
You know, start early, end late, stuff like that.
Yeah. So, what worries you most about America right now?
I would say what worries me most about America right now is the arguing and the bickering. Nobody can get along. Nobody can seem to find common ground on a lot of issues. There's no give and take, really, just a lot of arguing, a lot of bickering back and forth. And when I say that, I mean from a political standpoint. You know, it's just, you know, the country's divided, and that's, you know, I don't think that's necessarily a positive thing at all.
Yeah, I don't either, and I think it's more divided now than ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you go back in time, you know, they could find some common ground on these issues, and now it's just polar opposites. It's political ideology. You know, you're liberal and then conservative, and they both kind of.
Yeah, they've separated. They don't walk down the aisle anymore.
No.
It's just you know, annoying and aggravating to watch.
I agree. You know, what is something America used to do better?
You know, just to be honest, and this could rub a few people wrong, and this doesn't apply to everybody, but I would say, you know, something that America used to do better is work hard and work harder. You know, a lot of people, they want to start at the top, and that's not where, it's not how it goes. I mean, you got in there and you got to work hard, you know, being successful for the most part, depending on how you're measuring it. Actually, I think in anything, it's never an 8 to 5 deal. I mean, you got to start early, and you got to work hard while you're there, no matter what you're doing. Absolutely. You got to, you know, that's correct.
I think the younger generation doesn't understand that quite as much. You see a lot of people, they just want to be there fast.
That's right. Yes, that's right. And it doesn't come fast.
Yeah. So, my last question for you, what does the flag mean to you?
You know, the American flag, I would say it's still, when you know, compared to other countries, to me, it's still the greatest symbol of freedom the world's ever known. You know, you think about just, you know, I was talking about people not getting along, but they had that right to not get along. They had that right to voice their opinion. And there's a lot of countries that you can't do that.
You know, if you go protesting, you're going to get...
you get executed. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's what I would say the American flag means to me.
Yeah. Well, Wes, thank you for taking the time out of your day to speak with me.
You bet. Appreciate that.
I'm now sitting down with Miss Heather Dufresne. Miss Heather, she has 4 kids, and she is a coach's wife.
Yes.
So I know she takes pride in that. So, Miss Heather, kind of tell us about being a coach's wife.
Okay, so being a coach's wife is sometimes a very hard job. But I was very fortunate when my husband first became a coach. We lived in Louisiana, and the coaches' wives there were all in. And when I say that, I mean they knew the game. I didn't know the game. And they sat with me every Friday night and taught me what a penalty was, taught me what a touchdown, taught me what onside was. It just, every term taught me the game. And they showed me that I needed to be able to understand the game that my husband coached and to be the biggest cheerleader. And so that's what I've strived to be all these years. And I know the game fairly well now. And I'm yelling for the team, even when even when I don't personally have a kid on the team, I am trying to be the loudest for those kids and to support my husband's job.
And you have 4 kids now. You have 4 kids.
Yes, I have 4 kids. Two of them are boys, and they both came through our football program here at Clinton. And that was really exciting, the years that they played. But I've always attended the games, even though I didn't have kids playing. And then I have 2 daughters. So
Okay. Yes. All right, well, I'm going to ask you some questions about America now.
Okay.
What worries you most about America right now?
Right now, I see morals going way down. And that bothers me because America has always been a country that typically had higher morals, just because it is kind of the Bible Belt as not the whole United States, but a big portion of the United States. And of course, our country was founded on the truths of God in the beginning. And so when you see the morality start to go down, you start seeing problems within your country. And that's probably the thing that concerns me the most.
What gives you hope for the future?
Well, when I say that with the morality going down, but I see a generation like you, for some reason, your generation, you guys are reading your Bible and you are coming back. And that gives me a lot of hope because I see so many young adults your age that are making Bible reading and things like that a priority. And that gives me hope for our country.
That has to happen to have a great country.
It has to happen. You can say whatever you want, but if you don't have a foundation in the truth, which is the Word of God, you look at any civilization that fell, that's why they fell.
That's exactly right. And it's always stuck with me to be like a tree planted by the water. If you have a good relationship with Christ, you're never going to run out of water.
Right.
And that's always stuck with me. Another question I have is, what's something America used to do better?
Oh. Well, I'm staying within these lines. There's several things. So from a religious standpoint, people used to go to church a lot more as a family, grandparents, parents. They had their families in church, which again, I feel like is a great thing to do. What was the question again?
What something America used to do better?
Okay. I think family too. I see, and I was just talking to a lady the other day about this. I would say 3 or 4 decades ago, your kids didn't move off. They stayed. Mm-hmm. They stayed in the same town. And I'm not saying it's bad when your kids move off, but even some of my kids live off, and that family unit is not together all the time, which I feel like is something that, I don't know, a strong family unit, I feel like, is a very good thing for communities and for just the support and everything like that.
What's something that you think people in cities do not understand about the small towns?
They do not understand the close, and I want to say family that we become. Mm-hmm. And I've got close friends that live in cities, and they are amazed when they come to, let's just say, one of my daughter's baby showers. And they cannot believe how we have this group of ladies that will come together every time, 15, 20 of them, and organize a shower and pour love into my kids. They don't have, a lot of times they don't have that. They don't have those close friendships that we do here in town.
I think this is going to kind of go along the same line. What is special about Clinton?
So I would not leave a rural area like Clinton. It would take a lot to get me to leave because of how close we all are, how supportive we are. And we've known each other we've known you since you were a little boy. That's the great thing. There are people that move in, but I mean, just like you guys that graduated, we've known you since you were little boys. And so there's a lot of trust that comes with that. We're not strangers. We don't just live up the street. You kind of have to know somebody a while before you really trust who they are. And I feel like there's just such a trust with all of us because we've known each other for years and years and years. And our lives are intertwined through sports, through community events, through church events. We're constantly seeing each other. No matter why we're at a place, we're there. We're always there. We just keep seeing each other. Everywhere we go, there we are again. And that's what makes us so close.
So what's the best part about knowing everybody? And then on the counterpart, what is the worst part?
Well, the worst is, and I say this, everybody knows your business. everybody knows your business. And sometimes that's good. Like, we had a daughter that was in Children's Hospital for a solid week when she was 2 years old. And that's before the internet. I mean, there might have been dial-up internet, but there was no Facebook or anything. But it did not take 24 hours before everyone in town knew that she was at Children's Hospital. And with that came praying, people sending Coach with cards full of money. Groups, like basketball team would take up money, and they were just bringing us stuff, cleaning our house while we were gone, mowing our yard. So everyone knew that within 24 hours, which was wonderful. But then if something happens in your life, maybe something embarrassing, something that you know, it's hard, it's a hard thing, everybody in town's going to know. And sometimes there's those people that want to talk about you and, spread, rumors or gossip or whatever. And that's the hardest part, is that everybody does know what's going on.
Yeah. I'm move on to some faith questions.
Okay.
How important is faith in your life?
The most important part.
I think it is in mine too, and I think my thinking is that you can get small, short pleasure from certain things, but at the end of the day, if you keep your faith first and you keep your relationship with God first, that's eternal pleasure. That's going to happen forever.
Right.
Do you think America has kind of started to drift away from God?
Oh, yes. I think we're living in a society right now in general where it is a self-pleasing. Everyone wants to have fun. Everyone wants to take care of themselves. And it's almost like they feel like if they put their faith in someone else, which in my case would be my faith in God, might make you feel like a weaker person. And so that is I feel like people, I don't know, they're just constantly trying to build themselves up instead of relying on a savior.
I agree. And, I think here recently we've kind of seen a surge in Christianity in America, but there for a while we were kind of down in the slums. I think it was everybody cares more about themselves than anything else,
right?
And more about having fun.
Yeah.
What advice would you give young Americans?
The faith. You have to believe. And when you go to college, the first thing you're going to do is take a philosophy class. If you're not in a private sector college, if you're in a state college, you're going to have a philosophy class, and that professor is going to tell you there is no absolute truth, and they're going to drill it in your head. There is an absolute truth. Mm-hmm. The absolute truth is the Word of God, and it says that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. That is the absolute truth. Now, you may not believe that's the absolute truth, but it is. And if your life is not built on that truth, I just don't think anything else matters. And so that's what so many people don't want to believe.
I agree. What is something that matters more to you as you get older?
I find that the older I get, I try to have a better relationship with people. Alec, even like when my oldest son was here at school and on the football team, his football team was much like yours. His senior year, there were 14 or 15 guys. And I don't think I got to know them as well as I got to know you guys. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the older you get, you realize that relationships are super important. And so I try now, the older I've gotten, to really get to know people, just really get to know them, and it not be just a casual friendship, but just take time to get to know people.
Yes. This one's kind of a silly question. I thought I would ask it to you.
Okay.
What song feels most patriotic to you?
What song feels most patriotic? Well, I'll be real honest. And I didn't think this was my favorite patriotic song until some presidencies came up recently. But I love Lee Greenwood, Proud to be American. I really like the words, the lyrics. That's become one of my favorites.
All right, we're going to end this with a kind of tough question. Why do you still believe in this country?
Even though we have problems, we are still the best country in the world. We really are. And I know some people are real down on America, but if you go to these other countries, we still are free. We still have our freedom. We still get to vote. We get to make decisions. We're getting to speak freely right now. I mean, I'm sure you're going to post this on social media. Mm-hmm. You can't do that in other countries. You cannot speak truth that maybe not everyone agrees with. And we get to do that. And we still have such freedoms that so many countries do not have. And it's still the greatest country in the world because we have freedoms.
I agree. Well, thank you for sitting down with me today, Miss
I'm glad.
I know you have a TikTok. You can plug your TikTok in. What's your handle?
Coach's Wife.
All right, go check it out. Now I'm at Clinton First Baptist. I'm sitting down with Pastor Nathan Brown. Thank you for joining me. I have a couple questions for you today.
Shoot.
So, how long have you been the pastor here?
October will be 4 years.
Okay. Have you pastored other places, or is this the first one?
Yeah. So actually, my wife and I were in North Carolina for about 12 years before we came here, and so I guess we've been in ministry for about 15 years or so.
Okay. So, how did you find Clinton?
Yeah, so a funny story with that. So I was sitting in a mod pizza with a friend of mine who is a missionary in Israel. And he and I had both been praying about what we feel like the Lord was calling us to in our kind of next steps in ministry and such. And he was just going, man, I really feel like the Lord's calling me back to Israel, but I haven't had any doors open for that. And I'm going, man, I really feel like the Lord's calling me back to Arkansas, just hadn't had any doors open for that. I'm sitting there and my phone rings. Number I don't know, answer it. It's Mickey Parrish from Clinton First Baptist.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. All right. So the first question for me today, what does America mean to you?
Man, I grew up in a military family. So my dad he's a Green Beret and served at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Okay.
My grandfather served in World War II, was a POW. And so, America to me has a lot of military connections in that, and kind of the God country family, and that it affords to us through the sacrifice of so many who have gone before us and those even in present to give us the freedoms that we have today, specifically as a pastor, to be able to worship freely, to lead a congregation that is able to focus on faith without fear of persecution and such. And so for me, America is a lot about the freedom of faith.
Yes. So that's my next question. How important is faith in your life?
Well, I hope as a pastor, faith is pretty important for me, and my family and stuff. It's a weird thing as a pastor sometimes because, I had this conversation with someone, not that long ago. Pastoring is not what you do, it's who you are. Mm-hmm. And so you don't really turn it off like, oh, well, I'm a pastor when I'm at the office, but I'm not a pastor at home. Well, I should be pastoring my family at home too. Right. And so faith is really important to me, just even in a daily basis of getting up early, getting my coffee, sitting down, spending some time in the Word and in prayer, and then taking as many opportunities as I get to share that with others.
Mm-hmm. All right, my next question is, do you think, I've asked this a lot today, multiple people, do you think America has kind of drifted away from God?
I'm going to answer that two ways.
Okay.
Yes, I think we have. Like, just definitively, if we look at the founding principles of our country, and just the faith that we have. You read some of the early addresses, or even like Washington's Thanksgiving address as he just thanks God for the country and all these different things. There's a basis of foundation, a shared faith that formed this country that I think we are drifting away from. Postmodernism and other things, we're drifting away from that. But I would also say no, in the sense that in times past, decades past, it was easier to pretend to be a Christian than it was to pretend not to be a Christian. And now it's easier to pretend not to be a Christian, or not to pretend, but to actually be open about that than it is to pretend that you are.
Yeah.
And so, you see that just in business and such. You go back 50 years ago and you're like, well, no, I don't believe in Jesus or whatever. Well, people in town might not do business with you.
Yeah.
And so there'd be a cost to that.
Yeah.
And so in that same sense, I think nowadays it is easier for people to be honest about where they really are in faith, which to me as a pastor, that's a good thing. Like, that means that it's creating an unparalleled opportunity for the gospel in several generations, where people are more open about where they actually truly are in faith or the lack thereof than they have been in times past. So I think it's both and.
Well, my next one is, what role should faith play in a community?
Well, I hope faith plays a big part in the community, both in the relationships that you build with other people, but also just in the way that you interact with others. I hope that faith becomes something that guides our identity and becomes the overflow of who we are. And so we desire to serve. We desire to be a good member of the community, to be outgoing and seek the welfare of those that are around us and such. And so I hope that just being an active member of the community is part of just your overflow as your identity in Christ.
That's going to be the last question. It's kind of tough.
Okay.
What is the difference between being religious and then having character?
Religious and having character. Okay, I'll say it this way. I think one is who you are, and the other is what you do. So religion at times, I think, or being religious or something, man, that can just be behavior modification.
Yeah.
We talk about this at church sometimes, trying harder to be better, right? It's like, it doesn't work that way. That's an outside in thing. But I feel like character is something that comes from the inside out. It's an expression of who I really am. So it's something I either have or something I don't have. And so, I would say faith in Christ is the same thing. I've either placed my faith in Christ, repenting of my sins, placing my faith in believing in his death, burial, and resurrection. And from that, from the inside out, Jesus says, eternal springs of life that comes from this. And so it's who I am. It's not just what I do.
Yes. I said that was the last one. I think I'm going to kind of put you on the spot.
Oh, no.
Who is your favorite country music singer of all time?
Favorite country music singer of all time. Okay, so for me, I'd probably go, it's not too old school, but I'd probably go Garth on that one.
Okay, I've had Garth once already today.
I like some old Garth on some of that.
All right, what's your favorite song?
Ooh, I don't know, favorite song. That's a hard one.
Ooh, yeah.
Thunder Rolls, Lightning Strikes, that one's pretty good.
Pretty good. Well, thank you for coming on with me today. God bless you.
I'm now out here at our local Mexican restaurant with Miss Keisha Jackson. Keisha, tell them hi.
Hi.
Okay, Keisha, what do you do for work?
I'm a certified pharmacy technician.
Okay, and what does that consist of?
Consists of making or filling prescriptions, dealing with insurance, dealing with the public,
Just
a lot of
work.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, Keisha, I want to ask you, what does America really mean to you?
America is the best country.
I agree. It is. A lot of people don't have the privileges that we have.
Yeah.
And it's just a pretty cool story on how America came to be as well.
Yes.
Yes. Well, Keisha, I want to ask you, how important is faith in your life?
It's really important.
It's
Very important.
Do you think America has kind of drifted away from God?
I do.
Do you think what can we do to stop it? Do you think it's the church? The church needs to get out more, or?
I think, yes. I think they need to get out more. I think more of them need to start preaching the truth.
That's exactly, not preaching what they want to hear.
Yes.
Preaching what is the truth.
Yes.
I 1,000% agree. And, Keisha, it seems the media, the news, they'll paint these small towns in places like Arkansas, small southern cities, and they'll paint them as racist.
Yes.
And you've lived here all your life.
I have.
Is that true?
There's racist people everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. But I have lived here all my life, and I really haven't had any issues with racism.
Wow.
It's basically respect. If you respect somebody, they're going to respect you back.
That's exactly right. I think a lot of people have respect issues.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. All right. I've been asking everybody this every day or every interview. Who is your favorite president of all time?
Of all time? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite.
You don't have one?
No.
All right, we'll move on. Who is your favorite country singer of all time?
My favorite country singer, Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. Okay, what's your favorite song?
Oh, that's
Friends in Low Places.
Oh my goodness, but he's got a lot of good ones.
Well,
Thunder Rolls.
Thunder Rolls. That's a good one.
That's
Yeah,
a good one.
yeah. Okay, I appreciate you sitting down with me today. It means a lot to me. Go get your drugs from Keisha. All right, it's been a long day of interviews, and we're going to bring home the bacon with the old man over here. All right, so tell us, where have you worked? I know you worked a lot of jobs.
Oh, I did everything from carpentry to meat cutting to groceries type work, factory work, whatever it took to make a living.
Yeah.
Where that's the way you have to do what you have to do to make a living. Most recently, last 20 years, I've been driving a school bus, and I worked as a pair there at Clinton for about 9 years, and then Lizzie took the management job at school, so I am the barista guy. So I make the coffee there at school.
A lot of people drink their coffee or no?
Yeah. About probably give out around 60 cups a day.
All right, well, we're going to get into some hard questions now. So,
Okay.
Do you think America has kind of drifted away from God? I've asked a lot of people this question today. I've got a couple of different answers.
Well, I think yes, I do. I believe people have drifted away from God. I think America has drifted away from God, and what has proved it to me is through some of the politics.
Yeah.
I think that and our character and our morals have changed drastically over the years. But here's the thing: a lot of people miss. I think that there's always been evil, and there's always been bad seed. It's just life.
Yeah.
Um,
You talked about we're divided, and I think a lot of people today have talked about how divided we are. It's never been like this before. Do you think America can recover from this division, or do you think we're too far gone?
I'm being honest here. I think we're too far gone. I think we went too far to the right and too far to the left, and it doesn't seem to be any middle. Doesn't seem to be any compromise. And without some compromise, I'm not saying let down your values. I'm not saying let down your beliefs, but sometimes we don't always get our way.
That's right. If there is any, what gives you hope? What gives you hope for the future of America?
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's it
exactly
in a nutshell. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So we're gonna end this video. I've worked hard on this video all day. I've saved this question all day. It's the hardest question on here, and I think you're gonna be the one to answer it. What does God bless America mean to you?
Well, I believe God has blessed America. I believe from the very get-go, God blessed America. That's how, when you study the history of everything, it doesn't mean we did right in every turn. We had slavery, we had all kinds of different sinful things that went on. The Wild West was the Wild West. But I think God blessed America from the very beginning. And there was a purpose behind that. Number one, I believe in the book of Revelation, it talks about the Philadelphia church, which was basically used to spread the gospel throughout the world. And I think America has played a big part in that and has blessed America because of it. The other thing is, God also knew that Israel would become a nation in 1948. And, there's no nation on earth that's more hated than Israel. Be honest with you. Now, this is my opinion. Doesn't mean Israel's always done everything right, because we know that they haven't. but I truly believe that if it wasn't for America, that they would wipe Israel off the face of the earth. So God has blessed, because the Bible teaches us that He'll bless those and curse those who either bless Israel or curse Israel. That's just the way it is, and I believe God has blessed us. And I say that God bless America is because this is our homeland. This is the place that God has placed us to live out our lives and to fulfill whatever purpose He has for it.
Good answer.
Thank you.
I think we're going to wrap it up here. The old man is done. Thank you all for watching. It means so much to me. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. And as always, God bless you and God bless America.